level. If you are joining us, this is live coming to you courtesy of the partnership between TV47 and Radio Jambo. This is being streamed live on all our digital platforms, both for Radio Jambo and TV47. I'm your moderator, Tony Kolanda, of course.
And I'm Michael Indeko. Yes, so a quick question to every candidate, yeah? Now this is where we get to the gist of what you're saying. So you've talked about infrastructure. A lot of times we've experienced people coming to tell us infrastructure, they're going to do this and that. And some of you have gone a bit into what you're going to do. Now I want to know, this infrastructure, what exactly is it? So that people are satisfied that exactly what you're saying, or they can hold you accountable. Because when we say infrastructure, it's just an ambiguous word that we cannot hold you accountable. What exactly are you going to do? There are no stadiums, for example, even for our top league clubs, which is embarrassing. So in this infrastructure that we're talking about, how are we going to bring it about? Or what's your vision for the infrastructure? We can start with candidate number one, Mr. Tom Adila. This one is a minute, by the way.
Hello. Yeah. I think most of my opponents here agree with me on the issue of grassroots football. It's key. And administration of football is different of like playing football, you know, being a manager. Most of my opponents either run clubs and they are part and parcel of this Chapadimba is a private thing that is being run by Kinamimo. But as an administrator, you need to come out clean to be a regulator for football policies to be put in place. Infrastructure is not part of association. It's a mandate of the government. The association must work together with the government because government is the biggest sponsor, even in football activities. Infrastructure is in their mandate, but you must have proper rapport with the government to achieve this. Association management is being a regulator of FKF and making sure that those policies which are there and also intertwined with the Sports Act are in place. So the infrastructure issue is devoid of what we are talking about, is a mandate for the government. But FKF as a regulator must come in and tell them policies on how stadiums are supposed to be constructed to meet FIFA standards and CAF. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So you've talked about rapport with the government. We can pass the microphone on to Mr. Sam Ochola. This infrastructure, what is your vision? A minute.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. When you talk about infrastructure, basically we mean the facilities where these young players are going to train and play football. Let me talk in Kiswahili kidogo because I know there are a lot of guys listening out there Waswahili wengi sana. So vile nataka kusema kuna mavijana youth kwa grassroots. Kama tuko na academies na wameanza kutrain mavijana kutoka 11 years and the ladies. Infrastructure tutapata kwa mashule, tutapata kwa colleges. Na so tunataka kufanya kazi na hizi mashule through the Ministry of Education na colleges kuweka hizi viwanja available. But the federation, as the president, we need to go round. Hatuwezi kukaa hapa Nairobi na tunafikiria tunaweza zungumza na mashule huko Kakamega ama Mombasa ama wapi. Tunataka na tuende huko tutafute hizi stadiums pali ziko sawa, yeah, na tutumie hizo facilities.
Safi sana.
Asante.
Tunavuka kwa Mr. Barry Otieno. Mr. Barry Otieno, you've been part of this FKF leadership, yeah? So someone would also ask on top of that, if you are not able to put this infrastructure, then what would be the difference now?
Thank you. So first of all is to say this. A good player on a bad pitch looks very bad. And an average player on a good pitch looks very good. Now, the FIFA Forward project money allows the federation to build a basic technical center. And I'm happy that during my period as FKF CEO, we managed to secure land in Machakos. I believe the construction of that technical center will kick off. However, in a country with 50 million people, and a majority of them being youth, that technical center is not enough. So the way to look at it is that schools have got existing infrastructure. The issue is to discuss with county governments and the national governments to make use of existing school space to develop football. There is no money at the federation that can build stadiums and build beaches all over the country, no. But government has got already existing infrastructure. The issue is how you tap into them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bariuteno. We move on to Mr. Sami Kempes-Owino. And Mr. Sami, there might be some who say, for example, you've been out of touch with Kenyan football for a while. So how will you come in and understand the needs that need to be in the infrastructure level? To that you say what, as you add on to the infrastructure question?
Yeah, I've been involved in football for many years. I've been visiting Kenya a lot. I've been learning about the country. So I'm not out of touch. I'll challenge anybody to debate me on any issues related to Kenya football. But when it comes to infrastructure, infrastructure is necessary in order to support football. We're lacking in infrastructure right now in all areas of our football. Infrastructure just basically allows you to have a consistent, outcome in anything you do. It's a systematic and consistent outcome. I'll give you an example. Right at the infrastructure in the area of youth football. If you have a player right now in the county of Nyeri that's playing for a good player that's playing for a school, let's say a school that is good enough to play for the national team, how is that player able to be seen in order to be called to the national team? We don't have anything in place that exposes that player and gives them an opportunity to be seen in the national team. And that applies to coaching as well. That's our problem.
All right. We move on to Mr. Cleophas Toto Shimanyula. Hii kushinda kusema we'll partner with serikali sometimes. We've seen it in the past and it doesn't bring fruition. So what is your vision when it comes to building those facilities for those children, building proper and adequate stadiums or facilities whereby it can improve infrastructure in our football?
Asante sana. Mimi nitakwambia, mimi na uzoefu wa hiyo shughuli na nina marafiki Kenya mzima. Hata rais wa Kenya nimekuwa naye rafiki kama ako mbunge. So nikichaguliwa mimi nitakuwa na uwezo kugonga hizo ofisi zote na governors wote. Na kitu kingine pia inategemea sura ya mtu ule anayeenda mahali kuomba kitu. Sababu ukiwa na sura ambayo unakaa kule kama uweze kuonekana ni ngumu sana hata kusaidika. Mimi pia nimesema na nimeongea kabla yao wote kwamba mimi najua uzito kwa sababu niko na team ambayo imerun from 2008 mpaka saa hizi iko katika Kenya Premier League. So I know how best I can do ndio niweze kuhakikisha watu wetu wanakaa. Siongei story because hao wetu hao tuwauliza hivi utakuta wengine wanakaa kule Amerika, wengine wanakuwa kule ndani, kazi ngumu, hawaelewi weather ya Kenya na kaaje. So with me nita make sure tumehakikisha, na nimesema from grassroots, kwa sababu unajua watu wengi wako hapa wanatafuta tu kura kusema president. Na kama wewe unafanya biashara kama Toto, even I can offer a part of my business money, nihakikishe nimejaribu kutengeneza zile vitongoji na niongee na shule na urafiki. Asante.
Asante sana. Umesema isipofaulu ni sura ya mtu. Ndio inazuia.
Yaani inategemea, ukipiga suti kama uingie mahali, watu wanaangalia mtu wa suti na kumbe wanaangalia huyu jamaa ameingia polepole chini ya maji na unapata usaidizi.
So, let's move to Mr. Chris Amimo. When we talk about infrastructure, instead of using hiyo jina kubwa infrastructure, instead of using the big word infrastructure, now I want you to take us down into your mindset. Ni nini different utafanya ukiwa FKF president? Practical steps.
I think I agree with many of the panelists here that infrastructure is largely a government function, but also infrastructure can be private initiative. And I think then I would challenge them that they should put in place places that can be used for training before looking for government help. I'm happy my friend Sam Ochola is here. Sometimes Gor Mahia come to me to look for training facilities at my grounds at Ligindogo. I took the initiative to have somewhere where Gor Mahia can come and train. And I'm happy CEO...
I'd like to interject there.
In the crowd.
Yeah, we train at Safaricom Foundation. We have never come to Ligindogo. We are too big for that.
My point is this. I would challenge my fellow panelists that I know we can say, you can say I'll be president and I'll do this. But before you do that, show us what you've done. And I think that is very important about what you're saying.
Thank you very much, Chris Amimba, for that. Candidate, of course, number 6 at this particular FKF.